Hello, everyone. So I'm Marco Pinchos, founder of Sprint CV, and today we have here Paulo Martins for our session of IT professionals talks, where we'll speak a bit about our professional life together, adventures that we have together, how we met, and then times that our professional careers crossed, and also experience that Paulo had during his more than 15 years already, Paulo? From many years you work in IT.
Almost 20.
Yeah, we're getting old with kids, getting bald.
Yeah.
I need to take care of my hair. Yeah, all those things. So, Paulo, how are you? How you feel
Yeah, I'm
doing?
good. Thank you.
Good.
And thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, first question, Paulo. You remember how we met?
Yes, of course. In
Which
spite of
year?
the beer.
It was
Yeah, we
Oktoberfest,
met,
Munich.
indeed.
Yeah, it was what? 10, 9?
And 8, I think. I'm not fully sure.
I think it was 9 or 10. Yeah. I started working in
Yeah,
2007.
around that. Maybe
and I was in
2009.
And then in 2009, I went to Munich, I think, to be working to Munich. So we met there through Carlos, right? I was working with Carlos, and
Yes.
You went in a journey. You, George, and Carlos for
Indeed.
discovering the Belgian, Dutch, the German beer.
German.
Yeah.
German.
Kind of in a nutshell, what was your profession? How do you start to work in IT? So you did your degree in Braga?
Yes, I did my master's degree in Braga. Well, at that time, it was not a master. It was before Bologna.
Yeah. All those things.
Agreement. Yeah, indeed. But okay, it was a 5-year degree, so it is like master's nowadays. So I started the graduation in 2001, and then
No, but yeah. So then you finish when? When did you finish?
I finished in 2006.
Yeah, and then you what?
Yeah.
You start to work for Vella? No.
No. I've started working for a company called Profimetrics.
Yeah.
That was a spin-off of Sonaicom, and yeah, it was a very interesting company. It was very new by that time, and it still exists. In the meantime, it was acquired from another company in the retail sector.
Okay.
From the UK.
Yeah, and then Vella after that. When was Vella?
No, after that I went to WeDo.
Okay. Then we do. Yeah, the world is small.
Yeah, indeed. Actually, I was working for a consultancy company that provided services to WeDo.
Okay, like me as well. So in outsourcing, you were outsourcer at WeDo.
Yeah, correct. And yeah, but there it was very
fascinating.
Quick. Sorry, come again?
A lot of people work at WeDo. It's funny. So it's the kind of a lot of different people from very different places. They all landed at WeDo some point of the time. And
It's yeah, some of them, that's true, indeed. And then yeah, I went to some other projects, and in 2009, I think I went to a Vella.
Yeah, crazy experience, no?
Yes, the company was like exploding at that time. It was a very hype in the experience vouchers world, and the company sales were like skyrocketing by that time.
For some people that are not that are some watching this video but don't know what is Vella. So Vella is was the first company, he says, in the world. The founder was saying that was the first company, that was the founder saying, that created the concept of offering experience vouchers. So you offer a voucher that you have a catalog through a hotel, restaurant, whatever. Like, for example, in Belgium is Bongo, and now we have so many smart boxes and all those things. But Vella was the first one, at least in Portugal, and then the competition came as well, replicating the model, but they were kind of the first ones to do it.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I think that Smartbox is the most known in Europe, probably. And there was like a competition who was the first one to create the concept of experience in a voucher.
Yeah. So, and then, but it was crazy times, no, to be in the development of a product that is exploding, on a kind of startup that is exploding, and everything was kind of, it was not IT company from the beginning. The
Yeah,
founder was not
correct.
technical, and
Yeah, and
he,
actually the development was outsourced, so I was the first IT guy in house. But yeah, it was like lots of things happening at the same time, and we had to handle from the hardware and also the platforms. So yeah, it was a very challenging and interesting experience.
so it was, and then after that, so after that,
Yeah,
how we kind of
after
started to work together at Rupial. So Rupial, I
yes,
think once I gave you a call, Paulo, there's this opportunity here. Are you interested? It was something like this, no?
yes, correct. Yeah,
So that was what, 2000?
it was actually my first experience as a freelancer.
Ah, yeah, it's true, it's true. So it was already after Videbella, right?
Yes, right after with the
Yeah,
Vella.
and then I started my brief experience as a account manager or business manager. So my 1 year experience in that role, and then I came back to IT as IT consultant. And I remember to call, hey Paulo, there's this position in this insurance company, or in this insurance sector. Are you interested? And then you took the job, right? It was more or less like that.
Yes, correct. By that time, I was a bit afraid because, yeah, it was my first job as a contractor.
Yeah,
So I was afraid, and what happens if I don't have a project, and how does it work regarding taxes and this kind of doubts that I think that most of us
because
pass in the beginning.
you pushed to be contractor, because you had the both options, right? Yeah, the option to as employee with a lot of taxes, with a less net, and then the option to be freelancer. I think back in the days it was already kind of very advanced
Mhm.
for the time that the company, or I kind of pushed, hey Paulo, you can be employee or freelancer, but freelancer you get much more. So if you go as a freelancer, so
Yeah, to be honest, I don't remember if
yeah, me
both
neither. But
options were on the table, but I think that I really didn't consider to be an employee. So yeah, I just went to work as a freelancer, and
yeah,
yeah, I think it was the best the best decision
mm,
of my life so far.
yeah. I also don't regret to go freelancing. When you go freelancing, you never go back. So
Yeah, indeed.
yeah, so it was, and then in that client happened really something very kind of not funny for me. So I was kind of in the middle of a political uh, explosion between companies, and you were in the middle, and the client said, I don't care who signs Paulo, but we want to work with Paulo. And then you had kind of the knife and the bread, no, como é que é? The knife and the cheese. So you had the
Uh,
power to select which company and kind of imposed very high conditions, and then the client said yes.
mhm.
So it was very good for you. So it was very bad for me, but it was very good for you. It was a tense period for me as a manager, deal with that political situation between companies. But
Mhm.
I was very happy that in the end you stayed in the same company, so you didn't change company, and then you got your salary very increased for the times that you're very well paid in the market back in the days. So
Yeah,
how it was to be in the middle of that storm between companies, and you were being pushed to sign with one company that you wanted to sign, so you said I'm leaving, and then they do another super counter offer and say you are staying, Paulo. How it
yeah, indeed.
was back in the days? You still remember what was the thoughts that you had in
Yeah,
your mind?
I can do a quick recap. So the initial contract was a 2 month contract. If someone is listening to us and is thinking about being a freelancer, and with the first contract of 2 months, it's yeah, it
Scary.
might sound a bit scary. But and what happened was that they didn't tell me anything about renewing the contract, and like 2 weeks before, I got an offer to work for an
Yeah,
airline company. And then,
I remember. Yeah,
okay, I yeah, I was about to go there, and uh, when they knew that I was planning to leave, they came with with the offer saying Paulo, you have to stay, and there was this political storm between Rupial and the other company, Rupial and the final client, and at the end, Rupial just did the contract directly with the final client, and I got a 50% increase.
Yeah. One of the best guys, one of the best paid guys in Lisbon back in the days.
Yeah, probably. Well, yeah, it was really, really good rate. So yeah, but that's also a bit a part of being a freelancer is that we are more recognized maybe, or
You also have more power in negotiation, and you also can collect better benefits, let's call it. If you are a good
yes,
worker, you can collect better benefits as well.
normally it doesn't work like, okay, you get 1% increase this year and you should be happy, and at the end, because of the taxes and the tables and so on, and at the end of the month you get less than before.
Yeah, you
So
get 10
that's
euros more per month.
yes, if you are lucky. So for me, that is one of the main advantages of being a freelancer, and also because we can manage better the our money than being an employee. And so it means that in the midterm, long term, I'm happier, and I can also stay longer in the company. I see some companies that are not very open to have freelancers because they want a long term contract.
Yeah,
But for me, it's the other way around. The companies that I work as a freelancer were the companies where I work for longer.
yeah,
So there is still some mind shift that needs to happen. At least in Portugal, in other European countries, maybe it's not so much. Also depending on the
I think Nordics, they still think that way. Yeah, we want you as to have a permanent job, not as a freelancer. So depends. Central Europe is very open to freelancing, but maybe if you go more to the Nordics, and it happened that to you as well when you were working to the Nordics. But we go there. Let's just. So basically, then you were in that insurance client for a while, and then even if being super well paid, you had to leave. No, so you had to follow your family, and your family moved back to left Lisbon, right? So that was the
yes,
reason
it
why you
was.
left. One of the reasons, no?
Yeah, well, it was our plan to move away from Lisbon. We wanted to go to the north of Portugal so that my girlfriend could experience to live there,
Yeah,
because she never lived in the north, and I'm from the north of Portugal, so we wanted to go in that direction. So yeah, I just quit, and I started my own project.
yeah. So you left a
Indeed.
very well paid job to start your own startup. How it was? Hard, easy, a nightmare?
Yeah, it was very challenging. It was a bit a shock with the reality of getting into the market to sell a project that doesn't exist yet,
Yeah,
and to get a pilot client. Yeah, it was challenging, of course, but yeah, lots of learnings, and a good lesson for life, and also to understand if I want this or not for my life, and if it happens that I go for a second entrepreneurship travel, let's say. Um, I know what I can do or what I should do differently, and what I can or should be. Yeah, it was interesting, but at the end, I feel that I should have done lots of things differently, of course.
of course you learn a lot. You learn so much things. So it's not about if you have been successful or no. Many times feel you failed, or your company didn't success well, or you didn't perform well. Well, I learned a lot, and that nobody will be able to remove me. That's what you learn on the process. You learn a lot, and of course, if you do it something new or something similar, all those mistakes that you did, you will not do it again because you learn in a hard way, like knocking your head against the wall. So that's and that lesson is very important. But you did in the end, you did a very nice product. So the product was working, and you managed to kind of sell it, not in a way that you wanted, but it was successful in the end. So not the way you wanted, but you shoot to the moon, but the shot was nearby.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. Well, yeah, it was not a total loss, so that was good. And yeah, I want to know lots of things about the market, about product building, and also about myself. That's the most important. That yeah, I learn better what I want and what I don't want.
Yeah. In the end, you knew better yourself after that. It was what, 1 year journey, no?
Almost 3 years.
3 years, yeah. It's a lot of time.
Yes,
A lot of time. In
yes,
3 years, it's walking
yes.
many times
Living
alone,
from
like swimming alone against the wind. Like it's tough. Sometimes the life of entrepreneurship, it's not easy. It's very lonely in some parts of the journey. And then what everybody says, that thing is not going to work. It's not going to work. And you say, no, it will go to work. Like, and then you listen all the bad noise in your ear and all the demotivation, and you still need to keep motivating yourself, waking up every day, and like going late to bed as well, because to build the product and all those things, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. How it was to work with the Nordics, a big shift in mentality. How it was to, I don't know, tell them.
yeah. So a couple of the company founders were Nordics indeed, but they were based well, most of them or most of the company was based in Washington DC. So the mentality was more
US.
American mentality. Yes, it was. Yeah, it was also good. A good experience. It was my first job where I need to speak English more frequently. So that was a challenge also on that part because I was able to speak English, but not very fluently. Also, listening and understanding them sometimes was a bit challenging, but yeah, I managed to improve quite fast. It's all about experience, right? They wanted to open an office in Portugal to develop products. Some part of the team in Portugal was actually working in the product development, but also some other part was working for another project together in the team in other countries, in the UK, in US, in the Norway, sorry, and Sweden. So yeah, it was very, and also in Nigeria.
No, really. Also everywhere.
Yeah, it was a quite distributed team. So yeah, that was my first contact with distributed team and yeah, multicultural team as well. And yeah, most of our work was done remotely.
Yeah. Yeah, because the office was in Lisbon, but you're most of the time next to Coimbra, no? You're like most of the time 200 kilometers away from the office back in the days.
No, no, at that time I was in Lisbon.
Ah, okay.
Yes, and everyone was around Lisbon, but we went to the office like twice a week, even before COVID. But yeah, then COVID came and yeah, full remote.
Because I remember speaking with you, and back in the days, you had a huge salary package. It was really outside of the Portuguese market. It was quite high for the standards. It was even nowadays, it was quite high.
Hmm.
I remember like we had the call, and I was telling, hey, by the way, I know some client that is I know a company that is searching for Eurocontrol to work with planes, and your eye starts to like open planes. But then like you told me the conditions, it's like, hey man, you are so well in Portugal. Why you want to change your employee status with a super high salary for a freelancing role? And said, but look, I really want to work in this industry. It is my dream industry. I said, okay, so if you want, just send a CV and I'll share with the company. So it's you in contact, and if you get in agreement, you get in agreement. So because they have shared with me some positions that they were asking remotely during COVID, and then he decided, yeah, why not? So why not to change and to work in my dream industry? If people do not know, here Paul is really a fanatic by planes and everything that is planes related. And you are not doing the brevet, right? Of planes.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's
Yes,
you
indeed.
can even follow him on YouTube. You can see his landings and his solo flights.
First solo.
So basically, you say, okay, I have a very stable job here as an employee, and the contract was good as well for Eurocontrol, and as a freelancer. And did you hesitate? It was full remote back in the days. It was during COVID, no? In the end of COVID.
Yes, correct. It was during COVID. Yeah, 1 year after the COVID started. Yeah,
So
indeed, it was full remote. Actually, the first contract was not to work directly to Eurocontrol. It was a project in Sejeca to Eurocontrol.
yeah, they were doing a platform, right? A kind of DevOps
Yes,
platform that
correct.
you could launch services, drop services. Yeah, so kind of that.
Yeah, indeed.
So then after that, you have been promoted for team leader in Eurocontrol. So they were kind of very happy with your job. So they kind of promoted you to
Yeah.
team leader.
It was a bit different. So the project finished, and I joined the Greenfield project at Eurocontrol as a tech lead. Yeah. Calling that a promotion, it's another story. I'm not sure if it's a promotion or if it's just a role shift.
Yeah. And by your experience, what is better? To be more next to the code or more to the management and to the teams and meetings and working more hours and producing less code, or where are you happier?
Well, at this moment, I'm happier as a developer. That's where I like to be, building stuff, solving these kind of issues instead of being in the middle of political decisions and stuff like that. So at this moment is where I'm happier, is developing. Yeah.
And then
That's
one day
it.
you had a bad call, right? A bad news arrived. Look, the budget of the project was cut and will not extend your contract.
Yeah, indeed.
Shit, that's the worst nightmare of a freelancer when you hear that news. Like, okay, in that specific day, your contract will run out, and you need to find another stuff. How it was the mental preparation for that? What was your steps? I know that you started to contact your network, so I tried to help you as well, to share my network with you. We kind of review the CV together, but it's always tough, no? So when you lose your current contract and you don't know where you are going to sign next, is always a scary situation. As I think, as an employee and as a freelancer, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, indeed. Especially in this situation like this project, it was like a baby for me because it is in the aviation industry, and also it was a project that I started from scratch, and it was a very interesting project that involves the aviation safety worldwide. So,
in a nutshell, was if the plane was losing a lot of altitude, start to send signals, right, to the air controller saying,
yes,
maybe going to crash.
yeah, losing altitude or big change in speed, banking angle, pitch angle, stuff like that. Low voltage, for example. There are equipments being installed in aircrafts, and if any of these parameters get out of the envelope, they start sending messages through satellite to ground stations, and these ground stations to this software. And this software then notifies air traffic controllers, air operators, search and rescue. So the main goal was to know the last known position of an aircraft and have search and rescue radius of 6 nautical miles. So we are talking about 10 kilometers, more or less. Yes. So that came in the context of the Malaysian Airlines, the MH370, and also the Air France 447 that crashed in the middle of the Atlantic, and they took like 2 years to get the wreckage. So that is a big pain for the families and also for the industry. While we don't know what happened, we don't know if the other aircrafts that are similar also have the same issues or not. That project brings a big improvement for aviation safety.
Right, great. Yeah. But then your baby, they said you have to separate
Yeah.
yourself from your baby. We'll have to hand over to someone, or I don't know if they are keeping the project or they kind of
Yeah,
stop.
they kept the developers only. The project just finished to be implemented. It was like more 6 months, and yeah, the implementation phase is about
Yeah,
to finish. Yeah,
yeah,
so I needed to get something else.
yeah. And then you start to okay, and it was also the worst time period. Like the worst period is like end of May before the summer, and the summer is always like kind of a low. You have a low amount of positions, and I even told you, well, do not stress much because September is coming, and for sure a lot of new projects will come. And voila, September came, and 3 4 interviews, and you got the job. So but it's always scary to be 3 4 months without projects. Which was kind of the measures that you took in terms of kind of aligning expenses, aligning, checking the savings to
Hmm.
the things,
Yeah, well,
network that you use.
I think that working as a freelancer, we should count more on ourselves than on social security and on the company and stuff like that. Yeah, we need to do some work upfront and have some emergency funds so that we can be, yeah, we can for some month without a paycheck. Yeah, then is to see how the market, what the market is asking for, and also, yeah, also. How should I say, trust in our experience and yeah, for the right moment and the right opportunity. It's yeah, there is a we can do some stuff, of course. We can contact our network. We can send CVs. We can iterate on our CV to trying to understand what we can improve to have higher chances. And here we are talking about lots of opportunities, but also lots of freelancers. And yeah, it's an European market, not a Portuguese market. So it's yeah, lots of opportunities and lots of freelancers involved. So our CV needs to be picked, and we should iterate over it, trying to understand what is missing there. So that was one of the things that I've done. Then several iterations, and yeah, just wait, trying to enjoy the summer as much as possible.
Yeah, because sometimes it's also an opportunity. When will be the next time that you'll have 2 months off? So you also took the chance to continue your studies or your brevet of aviation, so that soon you'll be a pilot.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, so it was also a way of you to optimize and take time to study and also to do some hours of flying as well. So it was yeah. But I think one thing that is very important is people to reactivate their network, because it will be the people that they already worked in the past or they have met during the professional career like us, that they can be the spotters of the new positions and tell you, hey, maybe you should apply here, you should apply there. Many times those people, they will connect you with the other people that might open you the doors for the next challenge. So many times I see people being shy or being not shy, but sometimes kind of not comfortable to share that they lost a job or they lost a position,
Hmm.
and they wait till the
Yeah.
last day that they leave the contract, and they only after that they start to search. When your searching should be in the day that you know that they will not extend your contract. So from that day, you are actively on a market searching a new position. And many times people wait too much, and then they see that they will have a gap of 3 4 months until they start a new job, because it's 1 or 2 months to find the job, and then you have the interview processes, and then the decision usually takes 2 3 1 month, 2 2 3 weeks, 1 month, and then after that you need to wait 1 more month to start, because
Hmm.
like kind of roles, permissions, setting up laptops, and all those things. And so people many times they forget the pipeline of searching, being selected, start a new job, and they should activate their network as soon as possible in order to contact recruiters, contact people that already helped in the past, ask opinion about CV, what the market is looking for, what the market is looking and is not being covered on my CV. knowing that I have that experience for it. So that's something that I see sometimes people struggling because they wait too long or too much to ask for help or to ask for their network to help them. But it's tough. It's a tough situation. But well, I'm super happy that you are well now.
Yeah.
So it's also nice to see you in Brussels and have some drinks from time to time when the wife allows and the kids allow as well.
Indeed.
But that's a nice thing. So Paulo, in between, last question. So between employee and freelancer, which one you prefer? I think it's pretty clear during
That's
our interview.
yeah, pretty clear. I prefer to work as a freelancer, of course.
Yeah, have all the
More
flexibility.
flexibility, and the general thing is I'm happier working as a freelancer. Normally, I will stay longer in the companies where I work as a freelancer. So, and the cost for the company is the
It's the same.
same and
It's the
less
same. Well,
risky as well for them.
give me exactly the same amount that you spend with social security, all those things, and give it to me, and I'll manage it on my side. Period. Full stop. And to get the promotion is also easier. You don't need to go to the HR and all those things. If the project has budget, or if the manager has the budget to give you a raise, it's much easier. So, and well, sadly, if they need to cut the project, it's also easier to they have much less risk to hire you and much less risk to fire you if they need. So it's a win-win situation, especially in IT. I think a lot of people are afraid of becoming freelancer, and when they are kind of Java developers and things, but you don't see the potential that you have. Why you are stuck with the security and being an employee when you can do so much more as a freelancer?
And at the end, layoffs happen everywhere to any kind of contract. So I have sometimes I hear stuff like I get a social security. Okay, but in some month you can save what you would receive from the social security. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's things, but
regarding the profile.
it's
Sorry.
also this kind of interviews also kind of to demystify the thing of becoming freelancer, because
Hmm.
everybody that I know, and I know many that have become freelancers, they all say the same. I don't want to become employee again because it is 1,000 times worse.
Yeah, yeah. A good thing is to ask for someone that is already a freelancer how it works regarding the company, to create a company or not, and all of these things. And
Yeah,
since
to get in a good
since you
accountant
start,
and stuff. Yeah, all those things.
yes, a good accountant is very important. And yeah, in 2 months, everyone will be like proficient on that. It's not hard.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very well,
indeed.
Paulo. Yeah. So
Right.
many thanks for you, many thanks for your time today, and many thanks for sharing your experience. And we have many things in our careers met many times, and we became very good friends through these many touch points. But then we also had a lot of drinks together and funny stories together as well. Many thanks for sharing your experience with us today, Paulo, and I wish you a great day. So looking forward to the
Thank
next
you.
beer in Brussels.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you very much for having me and to share also my experience. Yeah. See you next time.
Thank you,
All the
Paulo.
best. Thank you. Bye bye.